7-yard line. They were looking for Johnson that time. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. 6-time Pro Bowler Randy Moss, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
Here we go. Waiting! What we got?
Wentz. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. No yardage to speak of whatsoever. Leads to a third down.
When a linebacker's able to sit at the second level and see things develop in front of him, as soon as he got a hint that the quarterback was checking it down, he just made a beeline directly for the receiver and ended up making the play.
They'll set up the screen for Freeman. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a fourth down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
The kick by Lutz is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And the Vikings defense ready to head back out there now. They had the interception last time, led to a field goal.
And kept points off the board against them as well. What a great way to end a drive. Take it away and set your offense up to put points on the board themselves.
The only thing would have been better, a touchdown. Now they'll be looking to get the stop and lead to that here on the next drive. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. An effective 7-yard third down conversion.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now Stafford. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. Well, CD, we are a quarter way through the season already. I'm curious, if you look at each conference, which division race is most intriguing to you right now?
Well, can we start in the NFC?
You do whatever you want.
Because if so, let's go to the North. Because we thought it would be a tough division coming into the season because I felt like you could make a case for everyone but Detroit when the season began. Now we're looking at Minnesota. They seem a little uncertain at 2-2. Chicago just lost their quarterback, Mitchell Trubisky, for an indefinite amount of time, but that defense is playing awfully well. And Green Bay has Aaron Rodgers. So I think that division now is brutal, and then you've got to throw in Detroit. It's not the same old Lions. Matthew Stafford, he plays with heart, played hurt, and I think that they're improving as time goes on.
How about the AFC?
Well, I think AFC South. Everyone's 2-2. We thought it would be a tough division. We thought it would be intriguing. And Gardner Minshew's mustache really adds a little extra intrigue to the whole thing. And we saw Marcus Mariota get off the deck and play well last week, too.
He's got Evans. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Stafford now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. And this is caught by Evans. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 more yards there and another first down. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Now Johnson. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 2nd and 5 now. Stafford, he finds his man Johnson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It'll be a pickup of just 2. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. The Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, there defensively to make the play.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Jordan Reed, 65 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Oh, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or 2 today. And I was like, oh, a zinger or 2? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
So Matthew Stafford in the offense. Down by 2 touchdowns. 1:24 to go. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance.
Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up.
Stafford on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Johnson the intended target, and now it's 2nd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, but now it's 3rd down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
The offense on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now Stafford. And no, it's incomplete.
Let's go, baby.
So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Randy Moss, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. To throw, it's Wentz. Steps away to his left. Man open, it's Moss, complete. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Devontae Freeman taking it in. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends in a touchdown run from Devontae Freeman. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Stafford. And his throw here is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And this belongs to the Vikings.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Mostert. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Raheem Mostert, 30 yards. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Lutz with the extra point. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here are visitors to take over on offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right?
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.